everyone! So today's card is for this month's MFT Creative Challenge, which was to use their new hybrid inks in creative ways. And I thought for this first card I would do some watercoloring over the hybrid inks, but I want it to not look like I did any stamping. So what I've done is I've taken the Smile stamp set and the large Smile stamp and I inked it up with pink lemonade hybrid ink. You basically just want a really pale ink for this technique. So pink lemonade works, insulation pink is perfect, snow cone, just any really light color, because you don't want to be able to see it in the end. And I inked up the stamp and I stamped it onto some watercolor paper, and then I'm just going to watercolor over it so that it ends up looking like I've got this variegated hand lettered watercolor sentiment, when really all I did was basically trace what I'd already stamped, because I'm not really good at hand lettering. I don't have neat handwriting, and to watercolor it, especially like this with multiple colors, it would take me forever. So just by stamping and then basically tracing over it with the watercolor, I end up with this really cool look that doesn't really take much effort at all. So I'm just using my Artist Loft watercolors. Any watercolors will work. You could even use dye inks for this instead, but I really liked kind of the look of these watercolors. They're a little bit chalky and they go over this hybrid ink really well. Another reason why hybrid ink works so well for this is it's not water soluble, so it's permanent once it's stamped and dried, so it's not going to bleed out anywhere and look messy or weird. So you can do techniques like this really easily. So I just used a bunch of different colors, just kind of mixing and matching and kind of getting kind of a rainbow effect going on, and working quite wet as well. I didn't mind. It didn't have to be perfect because that's kind of the beauty of it. I wanted it to look more hand done. So letting the color kind of seep out a little bit along the edges there of the stamped sentiment. Yeah, it ends up turning out really cool and fun. And then to add to the look, I've actually got just a My Favorite Things shipping box that I've cut the lid off of, and I use it as my spray box for spraying and splatter and things like that. So I've got it kind of tilted and propped up here on my work surface, and then I'm just going to load up my brush. I've got it really wet, and I'm just going to load it up with watercolor, and then I tap it against my finger to get it to splatter onto the cardstock. And just an FYI, this technique, even with my little box to kind of protect some of the work surface, this color goes everywhere. I had it all over my camera, my lights, everywhere. I actually had posted a picture of my camera on Instagram the next day. I didn't realize how bad it was till I took my camera off the tripod and there was color all over it. So this works better if you got a little bit more space, but me with my camera tripod and everything, like, you know, right here, yeah, I would work in a bigger area and just, you know, make a little more space. But in the end, it's not the end of the world. It cleans up quite easily. So once I was done splattering all the different colors, I quickly hit it with my heat tool just to dry it so that I could stamp the rest of the sentiment. And I didn't want to smear the ink and the watercolor together. So I'm just inking up this little companion stamp. It's from the same set, the Smile stamp set, and I'm inking it up with my Black Licorice hybrid ink, which has quickly become a huge favorite of mine. I use it for just about everything. So I inked it up with that and just stamped it over my little watercolored sentiment. And then I took a piece of MFT's smooth white cardstock, which is heavyweight, and I had cut it to 4 7/8 by 7 inches and then scored it at 3.5, because this is going to be a 4-bar sized card, which again, I'm kind of obsessed with this shape of, or this size of card. It's just, I don't know, I just really like it. So once I had scored it, I opened it up and then did the same thing again, just stuck it in my little shipping box and used all the same, or close to the same colors to splatter all along the inside just to kind of get the continuity going. Plus it looks so fun. So hit that again with my heat tool. So then once that was dry, I grabbed another sentiment from the Smile stamp set, and because it was too long to fit on the inside of the card, I just snipped it apart with scissors so that I could line it up on my craft mat and get it onto 2 lines. and I could still stamp it on one line down the road if I want to. I can just bump them back together. So it doesn't hurt the stamp at all. And the more I do this, the more I'm kind of liking getting extra use out of my stamps. So I inked it up with the Black Licorice Hybrid ink again, and I'm going to stamp that on the inside of the card. And then I'm going to add a bunch of adhesive to the main little panel there and adhere it to my card, and that's all there was to it. So as always, there will be a link below the video to my blog post with links to all the supplies used and the pictures and all that fun stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!